How's it going out there, YouTubers? Cyberneticshark here with another new video haul video for you. So let's get right into this video haul and see what I got. Welcome back, all you awesome YouTubers and YouTube viewers and just people watching videos. Welcome to another various edition of the awesome video haul series. So, let's get right into this and see what some cool new videos I picked up for my collection. So, to start us off, I recently picked up, probably, I don't know, a couple months ago, was an awesome cartoon TV series. And this is actually the second volume in this series, volumes of, DVD compilations. And this is actually like the next 26 episodes of this cartoon series that ran during the late 80s. And that is the awesome and amazing, beautifully created cartoon Disney made DuckTales Volume 2. So I already had Volume 1, so I finally found Volume 2 for a really good deal. And I was finally like, oh my gosh, I need this because this is one of the best cartoon series ever. I absolutely love this cartoon. I think it's amazing. You had the awesome Alan Young doing the voice of Scrooge McDuck in this. He went on to do a ton of voiceovers over the years. He did a voice in the Great Mouse Detective movie. He also was on Mr. Ed. He was a really awesome, amazing voice talent. And he lived a long and good life, too. He just recently passed away. I think it was last year. But he was an awesome talent. I loved him as Scrooge McDuck. His voice was so distinct and just awesome. And just really awesome. This is just a really good, excellent video, cartoon series that was just so fun and so vibrant. I loved it as a child. Still love it now. I think it's just a great, cartoon TV series. I think it's awesome that they put the artwork on the discs. As you can see here, it's so beautifully done. They've done a really nice job with these, putting some really decent artwork on them and stuff like that. But definitely a great series to have. This actually includes the pilot of the DuckTales series, which the first volume did not. But it does have the pilot episode on this one, and it comes with 19 additional episodes. I do believe that this ran for some odd, I think 70 to 80 episodes, and that lasted over a course of 5 or 6 years or something like that. And I just remember thinking that this was such a great cartoon. But yeah, if you haven't seen this, definitely check it out, people. DuckTales is such an awesome. Your kids will love it. You'll love it. Especially if you're an 80s kid, you've loved this probably, or you would love it if you are an 80s kid. But yeah, definitely a good and awesome TV cartoon series. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's worth the watch. Next up is an awesome 1993 thriller film that is based off of a John Grisham book and stars the awesome Julia Roberts and Denzel Washington. And this movie, actually, I don't know why it took me so long to get this, because this is a fantastic film. It's one of those great, thriller-type films. Very beautifully directed by Alan J. Kula. And that is the film The Pelican Brief. Now, The Pelican Brief is just, like I said, a really decent thriller. It's based off of a John Grisham book. It's a top-notch thriller. It's got some interesting, elements to the film. Lots of great suspense. Just really good, dramatic elements to it. It's just a fantastic film. If you especially are a huge movie buff, this is definitely a movie to check out. Definitely one of those ones that should be on one of those lists of 100 greatest movies to check out. It just was so well done. Great acting by Denzel, Julia Roberts. You also had involved in this film John Hurd, Sam Shepard. You had Tony Goldwyn in it, James B. Harding. Stanley Tucci was in this, William Atherton. This movie had a huge cast. Robert Culp. It was just really well done. Definitely something I've been wanting to add to my collection for a while. I didn't know that it was on Blu-ray yet, so I was very glad to see that they actually put it on Blu-ray. It's just a really well done film. Also, I love it that, once again, another one that they put the discard on, which I'm really glad. I hate when they don't put the discard on because it makes it look so much nicer, like I said in previous ones. But yeah, definitely a really nice looking disc. I really like it. It's a nice picture of the original poster. Just really well-class film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, people. Worth the watch. Real fun, really enjoyable. The next movie I picked up was a classic that I loved and I saw in theaters back in 1996, and I just thought this was a fantastic film. A lot of people probably think, oh, it's a Rob Cohen film, so it probably sucks, or they didn't think that, he did a great job with special effects and so forth. But I think this is a fantastic film. I think it's one of my favorite Sylvester Stallone films. It's just a great film, and that's the film Daylight. This movie just was fantastic. I remember watching it in theaters and just the whole time going, what's going to happen next, Because it was just a really good, kind of disaster type film. And during the late 90s, if you remember correctly, they did a lot of those disaster movies. You got Deep Impact, you had Armageddon that happened. A lot of those. Independence Day, Alien Invasion kind of cataclysmic type of thing. And this was just that same type of, film. It was one of those disaster films where people got to be saved and so forth. And I loved all those types of films. I thought they were just fantastic, so entertaining, and just really fun to watch. And this one was a really good one, I think. I think it was very well directed by Rob Cohen. The special effects were really awesome. The stunt work was really awesome, and I love the fact that, Sly did his own stunts and so forth. There's a scene in the film where actually this giant gas tanker rolls over and starts rolling towards Sylvester Stallone. He actually did that stunt himself, and he almost actually got hurt real bad. But thankfully he didn't, because he's still around and doing some awesome films. But this is just a really excellent and awesome film. Like I said, great special effects, just a great story too, an interesting concept. I never really had seen a tunnel movie where a giant explosion happens and it caves in. You've heard of that kind of thing, but they really never really put that into movie perspective. I thought that was a really awesome job. But this had a great cast. You had Dan Hedaya in it, you had Viggo Mortensen, you had Jay Sanders, you had Karen Young, Claire Bloom, Stan Shaw, Barry Newman. This had a great cast too as well. And this movie has so many great special features too. It has the Daylight Archives. It's got the music video for Whenever There's Love. You got a featurette. You got the making of Daylight. Feature commentary by director Rob Cohen, which is really awesome. If you have not seen this, definitely check it out, people. Especially if you love those films from that time period: Armageddon, Independence Day, Deep Impact, Dante's Peak. All those types of films. This is definitely one to check out and watch and even add to your collection, because it's just a fantastic film. I got this one for $5 too, which I was very happy with. It's totally worth the $5. Great film. One of Rob Cohen's, I think, best films. Next video that I purchased, or Blu-ray I should say, that I picked up, is an awesome comedy film that has a great ensemble cast, along with two of some of the greatest comedians around this time frame. And this was just a really funny and hilarious movie. I thought it was very, very well directed by C.B. Harding, and I just thought it was a really fun film, and I don't think it gets enough credit for how funny it was. And that's the film Delta Farce, which is kind of like a military comedy film, kind of along the lines of Renaissance Man and Major Payne and stuff like that. It's just a funny film. I love Larry the Cable Guy and Bill Engvall. I think they were so hilarious in it, and I thought it was a great addition to have DJ Qualls in this. But you had just a really great cast too as well. Along with those three, you had Danny Trejo, Marisol Nichols, Keith David, who I think is an awesome actor. He always plays really good bad guys or really good kind of sneaky guys. But this movie is just super funny. Basically, the premise of this film is these guys are Army Reserve, and something happens where they have to actually go on active duty, and they try every way possible to get out of it, which is super funny. But yeah, this is just such a funny film, really hilarious. Really enjoyed it. This was along the lines of to me Witless Protection with Larry the Cable Guy, or Health Inspector that Larry Cable Guy did. Just really funny. If you haven't seen this, definitely check it out, people. It's super hilarious, funny, and just very enjoyable and entertaining. Another awesome Blu-ray I picked up recently was an awesome martial arts film that actually I have never seen, but I thought for how cheap it was, why not check it out? And it has a good cast. It's got Tony Jaa in it, and it's got Roz in it. And it's a awesome, like I said, martial arts film called The Protector 2, which is, a really awesome martial arts series I've heard. And this movie just, like, looks really interesting. I love Tony Jaa. I think he's really awesome. He does amazing special, you know, martial art moves and stuff like that. He's so fast and quick. I really liked him in the Ong Box. I thought he was really awesome. He just is a really great martial artist. And this movie just looked really awesome. It was released by the Magnet series, which they do a lot of martial arts releases, like IP Man, the Ong Box, and so forth. But yeah, this just looked really awesome, especially with the addition of Rosin kind of playing a bad guy, I heard. It looks just really interesting. It's got a lot of great action sequences, I heard, and so I thought I'd give it a try. It looks really interesting, and for, like I said, for the cheap price that it was really awesome. I like the fact that it had disc art once again on it. I think it looks really awesome. It looks really cool. Definitely looking forward to checking this out. I mean, all the people that are involved in this, I don't really recognize too many of the names of the people involved in this. But, I mean, some of them I know I've seen in other martial arts films, but I don't know their, you know, names or anything. But still, at the same time, this looks like it's going to be wildly entertaining and fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to checking that out eventually. Another recent purchase I did was an awesome animated film that I actually have never seen, but for the cheap price it was, and it being on Blu-ray finally, I was like, I need to check out this film because this was considered a big classic when I was growing up. And this is just the animation is really awesome. It's a Don Bluth film. It just looks really awesome. And I just can't wait to actually watch it eventually. But the animation for the time period, it's along that same lines of like Rockadoodle and All Dogs Go to Heaven and all those cool ones that I grew up with, Land Before Time and so forth. And that is the film The Pebble and the Penguin. Now, I heard this is a fantastic film. I can't imagine how pristine and clear it looks in HD. But this is just a really awesome, cartoon movie I've heard. It's got a lot of great love to it. It's got that Bluth characterization. It's one of those films that you're like, okay, this is a Don Bluth film. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to love it, And I was like, why not? Why not add this to my collection? Simple fact that it's an animated classic, and I'm sure I'll love it. But yeah, this just had a great voice cast, too. I mean, you had Martin Short doing a voice in it. You had Tim Curry. You had Annie Golden. You had James Belushi doing a voice in it. I mean, it just has an all-star cast and just looks really fun. I can't believe this came out in 1995, 23 years ago. It's crazy. But definitely, it's along the same lines as Rockadoodle. Very much the look of the birds and everything in this looks just like Rockadoodle to me. Looking very forward to checking this out. But if you haven't seen this, definitely you as well check it out too, because I've heard it's just a fantastic film. It's just a really well done cartoon film, especially if you're a big fan of those cartoon films from that era. This is definitely one to check out, people. It looks really good. Can't wait to watch it. Next Blu-ray that I purchased recently was an awesome CGI film / kind of Golden Age, along the lines of 300, Clash of the Titans, Wrath of the Titans, so forth. It has to do with immortal gods and stuff like Hercules and stuff like that. And this movie is I thought it was really fantastic. I thought it was really well done. It was made by the producers that did 300. It was not directed by Zack Snyder, but the guy that directed it, I think, did a really good job. But it's just a really awesome kind of like that same kind of era 300 film. And that is the film The Immortals. Oh, yeah. Now, this stars the awesome Henry Cavill, Frida Pinto, and Mickey Rourke. This has just got a great cast, I felt. You had John Hurt in it, Mickey Rourke, like I said. You had Isabel Lucas in it. You got Luke Evans, Stephen Dorff. It was one of the few Henry Cavill films that I remember watching, like, before pre-Superman. Before I had seen Man of Steel and realizing, Henry Cavill's an awesome actor. This was just a fantastic visually movie. I loved all the action sequences. I thought it was just very much similar to 300. I remember when it was coming out 11/11/11, and I thought that was really sick and cool that they decided to release it that day. And I just thought it was a really awesome film. Especially if you're big into like Greek mythology and stuff like that, this movie is for you. It's really awesome. Lots of great action sequences, lots of Greek myth and stuff like that. Just really well done. Really, really superb. And I really enjoyed it. There's some great scenes in it. There was this one scene towards the end of the movie where they're fighting Mickey Rourke, and just the battle sequence that happened in that was like so precise and so intelligent. And I really appreciated that detail work that they did to make that scene, and just giving us this really awesome action-packed film. Really awesome film, excellent, just superb. Henry Cavill at his best. If you haven't seen this, definitely check it out, people. It's really worth a watch. Really fun. I really appreciated once again that they did, artwork on the discs. This is one of the ones that came with a digital copy still before they started doing the paper ones. Really, really nice artwork on the disc, I think, and just really well preserved and done. Fantastic film. This also comes with some great extras, deleted scenes. It talks about the Immortals graphic novel. It's got an alternate opening and ending. It's got Taram's vision, which is of the Fight Club. It's got It's No Myth documentary, and then, of course, it's Immortals in high definition. Just really awesome. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, people. Worth a watch. Really good film. Really excellent. Another great film I decided to pick up finally on Blu-ray is an awesome James Bond film, and the first that the awesome Daniel Craig decided to become James Bond. And I thought this was actually probably one of the best so far of the series. I really like Skyfall. I thought Quantum Solace was decent. I thought the other one that they made was really decent too. I can't remember the name for some odd reason. But yeah, definitely Casino Royale it was the introduction and gave us a really good introduction to Daniel Craig's James Bond version. And this is just fantastic, and I thought it was, a great film. I originally had it on Blu-ray, but it got stolen from me, 5 years ago. And I finally just recently picked it back up to add to my collection. And like I said, that is the film Casino Royale. Oh yeah. Our first outing with Mr. Daniel Craig as James Bond. But this had, I think, out of all the bad guys that he's, faced, this is definitely the best villain out of all of them. At Mads Mikkelsen, I think he's just awesome. It was really amazing. Martin Campbell directed this one, which he's directed so many of the James Bond films, and he's just a really awesome director. This was just fantastic. I really enjoyed it. You had Ava Green in it. You had Jeffrey Wright. You had Judi Dench. Just a really well done film. And just superbly done. This really got me back into wanting to watch James Bond. And I'm so glad I finally picked it back up to have in my collection. Even though, the disc, the digital, the DVD itself just says 007 on it. I still think it's a nice artwork, though. Better than just saying Blu-ray or something on it, saying Casino Royale, one of those gray ones. I really liked it, that it still had some kind of imprinting on it, which is really nice. When they re-released all the James Bonds on Blu-ray finally, really nice, really well done, really great film. Can't wait to watch it again. Just superbly done by Daniel Craig. If you haven't seen Casino Royale, definitely check out, people. It's so good. Especially if you've seen the other ones and you haven't seen this one. This one you should have seen first, because this one's just the best, pretty much. And just a fantastic film. Great film. Definitely, if you haven't seen it, check it out, people. Another new great addition to the awesome movie club of mine, or the wall of movies, as I like to call it, is a awesome CGI animated film based off of a Dr. Seuss book. And I actually originally had this one too, and it got stolen from me 5 years ago, like I said, for the previous one. And this was just a fantastic animated film. I saw it in theaters, actually, when it came out in 2009. And I just thought it was fantastic, fun, and just enjoyable and hilarious, and just really well done. And that is the film Dr. Seuss's Horton Hears a Who. And this is along the same lines as, The Lorax and Dr. Seuss's Grinch Stole Christmas and so forth. But this was just so well and so beautifully directed. Simply the fact that you had two great voiceover artists doing voices of this, Jim Carrey and Steve Carell. Just really funny film. You had Will Arnett that did a voice in it, Seth Rogen, Isla Fisher, Amy Poehler. It's just a really fun and fantastic film. Kids will love it. You will love it because it's got some great adult humor to it. I just think it's a really hilarious, cartoon animated film. Bringing Dr. Seuss's, one of his books to life once again. Great disc art on them too. I love it that they have the disc art on them. It looks really beautiful and pristine and clear. Just really well done. It's such a great film. I really enjoyed it when I saw it in theaters. I just thought it was fantastic. Along the lines of like Ace Age and Madagascar and all those types of CGI animated films. This is just fun and hilarious. And a lot of great one-liners by Jim Carrey and Steve Carell in the film. And it was a really well done cartoon film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check this out, people. This is such a great film, such a great movie. Definitely an excellent one to add to your collection. Just so amazing. Your kids will love it. Like I said, you adults will love it. It's just pure fun. Really great imagination, too. Brings back your childhood, too. Definitely check it out. Especially if you get this particular copy. It's got some great special features. I mean, it's got deleted scenes. It's got picture-in-picture bonus. It's got sneak peeks at Ice Age 3. It's got a Ice Age short called Surviving Sid. You got audio commentary by the directors. You got Make Katie featurette. You got the Animation Horton featurette. Behind the Seuss to Screen featurette. Jim Carrey featurette. A whole bunch of awesome just special features, which is really awesome. Really well done. Actually, I saw this back in 2008. I'm sorry. I didn't realize this was 10 years old already. But a fantastic film if you haven't seen it. Definitely check it out. Let your kids watch it. It's fun stuff. Another new great addition that I added to my collection as well is the next one that's coming up that I just think is a fantastic thriller too. And once again, Halle Berry brought it, gave us a great thriller movie, kind of like the same how she did in the film The Call, which I think is a fantastic film too. This supposedly didn't do too well in theaters, even in sales and after being released on Blu-ray, but I still think it's a fantastic film. I thought it was very well done. I love the mystery to it. I love the action in it, and I just think it was a fantastic film. And that's actually, it's from the producers of Salt and Transformers, and that is the film Kidnapped. Oh yeah. Got it with a slit too. I'm so happy. Oh, so beautiful. So amazing looking. I love that big nice picture of Halle Berry in the front there. You got your side slips here. So nice. It's Kidnapped and shows a picture of Halle Berry. Blu-ray released by Universal. And then the back's got a few great scenes from the movie. Symposium. And then the bonus features that are involved with this. Just a fantastic film. Just really good. Really amazing. This is just a superb thriller, and I loved it. It's, a woman a woman trying to save her child, basically, that's been kidnapped, and she just, she's a one-woman army in this film, and she does a fantastic job. Love Halle Berry in these types of films. She always is so good and superb. She really knows her stuff. Really great film. Lots of great scenes in it. Lots of great one-liners. Some really fantastic, footage of, chase scenes and the views and stuff. Just really awesome. Can't wait to watch this again. It was so good. Really fantastic film. Just recently got reduced down, finally, at Target to $15, which is fantastic. Very glad I finally added this to my collection. I've been wanting to for a while. I really enjoyed this film. Looking forward to watching it, like I said, and, just a fantastic all-around film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's worth a watch. Also, if you haven't seen this, check out my review on it, too, which I'll leave the link for it, on this video so that you can check that out if you like. It's awesome review about this film, too. It tells you all about it. Really awesome. Check it out, people. It's worth a watch. So, to close out this awesome video haul with the last recent Blu-ray purchase that I got, is none other one that I recently needed to upgrade from DVD to Blu-ray, and this is just a classic of mine. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, and stars one of my favorite actors who unfortunately passed away 4 years ago, Mr. Robin Williams. Just a fantastic film. Loved it. Grew up on it. Watch it religiously because it's just such an amazing film and so beautifully directed. By Chris Columbus, and that is the film Mrs. Doubtfire, Behind the Scenes edition, which is really awesome. This comes with all the awesome special features of Behind the Scenes edition. all in beautiful HD. This is just an amazing film. I love Sally Fields in it. Love Matthew Lawrence. Love everyone that's involved in this. Pierce Brosnan, Harvey Feinstein, Robert Prowsky. It's a really great movie. One of my, like I said, my all-time favorites of Robin Williams. He was so endearing and so awesome in this film. I just absolutely love this movie. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's even got disc art, which is fantastic. Love that. Love that fact. I wish it came with a digital, but that's okay. Not all of them can come with them. Maybe eventually if they do another like anniversary edition or something. But this is just a fantastic film. Really well done by Chris Columbus. It's actually based upon a book called Alias, Madame Doubtfire, by Anne Fine. And this has actually got a lot of great like people that were involved with making it, like Roger Goshno, who's directed a few great films. He actually was the editor on this, and it was produced by Robin Williams too as well. Just a all-time classic. If you haven't seen this, if it's not a part of your collection, or if you've never seen this, you have to see it. If you're a Robin Williams fan, this is a must-see of his, because this is one of his most fantastic films of all time. Just a fantastic film. Very glad I finally upgraded it to Blu-ray, because the pristine look of the Blu-ray HD looks amazing. Eventually, hopefully, they'll do a 4K, and that'll be even better. And this is just still a great classic from '93. I can't believe after 25 years how pristine and awesome this still stays today, and just looks awesome. Really well directed, like I said, by Chris Columbus. Chris Columbus always makes fantastic films, I feel, and this is one of his best, I feel, too. If you haven't seen this, definitely check it out. Pick it up, people. It's super cheap, really worth the price, and just an amazing film. Definitely check out, people. Really good. So that's it for this video haul, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Thank you for liking, and also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here and you haven't subscribed before, or you've been here and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button so to miss one of these awesome videos I put up, or any of the awesome videos I put up. And as always, keep your eyes out for any older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And as always, check out the awesome link down below about the awesome Horror Pack. Now, Horror Pack is an awesome subscription service of horror films, either in Blu-ray or DVD format. If you're a big horror collector, this is the box to get, people. Especially when it comes with awesome either 4 Blu-rays or 4 DVDs of awesome horror goodness. Also, each box comes with a limited edition that you can only get through awesome Horror Pack. Such as, like, if you're a big fan of collecting, like, out-of-prints or collector's items or anything like that, this is the box to go with, people. It's because it's such an awesome box. And if you're interested in that, let me know down in the comments so I can hook you up with a discount on your first month. And always, check out the awesome Stardust app, people. This awesome app you just download right from the Google Play Store or the Apple Play Store. And you can watch either 3 to 30-second little awesome movie reviews of anything you think of, like TV movies, trailers, and so forth. So if that's something that interests you, download that too. And also, go ahead and look me up on that under Cyberneticshark and follow me. And if you do follow me, I'll follow you right back. And as always, catch you in the next one.